everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Lexis Gourmet's Kitchen. I brought with me pineapple shrimp, black beans, brown rice, and a chocolate fudge cake. And I brought 2 guests with me to try it. They're gonna tell me how it is, and we're gonna see how it goes from there. So stay tuned. Thank you. Hello everybody, thank you for coming back to Lexis Gourmet's Kitchen. I'm here today with Mike and Brittany. They're my taste testers for the meal that I prepared for today. Once again, I have devil's chocolate cake, pineapple, shrimp, rice, and beans. So we're gonna see how they like it. All right, can y'all try this food for me and tell me what y'all think?
Tell me twice. I've been waiting all day for this.
But while they're tasting, I'm gonna explain. So Brittany is sitting here trying the shrimp, the pineapple shrimp. Mike,
this is so good.
I don't know what he's doing. He's supposed to be eating. So Mike, what did you just eat?
All right, so the reason I did that is I see a lot of sauce on this plate, right? So what I did was I folded it up to make sure all the sauce goes in pineapple, shrimp, all in one bite. So I just got, it looked a little messy, but I just got 3 of these items on this plate all in one bite. Okay. And let me just tell you, the flavors are phenomenal. All right, so I taste a little bit of some garlic. I could taste it's very good. It's kind of sweet too, because I think that's where the pineapple comes in. The beans are well done. The rice is well done. It's really good. Good flavors are coming out of this. I could tell that you put a lot of work and a lot of love into it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a really good bite. I'm gonna keep digging in.
Thank you. While you dig in, I'm gonna go to Brittany. Brittany, don't lie. How did you like it?
I'm so happy. I love it. It tastes like he said. It tastes like love. It tastes like, girl, get out of here. It tastes like happiness. I want it so bad. Yeah. I love it. I really do. And I love shrimp, and I love like sweet and savory flavors. And
was it tender enough? Like, was it, you know?
Definitely.
It wasn't overcooked. It was pretty well done.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you make the rice?
How did I make the rice?
Yeah, how did you get this color?
Well, what I done, I boiled the rice first, 2 minutes. I added salt in it so it won't stick. Then I put the rice in. The flavor comes from, it's a package, it's yellow rice, but the flavor, it comes with its own flavor, but I add my own twists and turns into it. I have, you know, garlic, pepper, stuff like that inside of it. And I just let it boil. I let it do its thing while I was doing other stuff in the kitchen. So, since y'all like that, can y'all try the pineapple by itself? Tell me what you feel in the pineapple. Since the pineapple was the key thing for the shrimp, it sucked up every juice that I had marinating in it. So what do you think about the shrimp? I mean, the pineapple.
It tastes like it sucked up all the flavors.
It did?
It definitely
flavors,
yeah.
Every
It's
bite
like
you
a
get is
burst of
juicy.
flavor in your mouth.
I heard you said you used wine with the pineapple?
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of wine did you use?
Fall.
Echo Falls?
Echo Falls.
Right.
And it's peach mango. Peach mango.
Ooh.
So it's got 3 different fruits flavors inside of one. So can we move on to this cake? I want y'all to try this cake.
Sure.
Then we're gonna eat the rest of your food. But I brought them here to taste this because I didn't want to bring a family member. I didn't want to bring, you know, someone that was really close to me, because I need an honest opinion about the food that I prepared for today. And I knew these 2, I could trust them to give me an honest opinion on everything. So we're gonna go back over to this taste testing. How is the cake? How is the cake?
I do like cream cheese frosting.
Okay.
So I like that. I feel like it goes really nice because the chocolate is kind of sweet and the cream cheese is much sweeter, so it's like not overpowering. Like I could eat this entire thing probably.
It's so fluffy. This, I mean, I've had cake before. I had a lot of cake before, as you can tell. You know what I'm saying? No, but seriously, the bread, you know what I'm saying? The cake, the fluff, it's so fluffy, it's so good. Yeah. And once it gets in your mouth, it melts in your mouth, and you can really taste the flavors, the chocolate, you know what I'm saying? it's so good. It's really, really good.
And it's not too heavy, it's not too dense, like it's not like a friggin' brick here.
It's not dry?
It's light. No, it's very nice.
It's very moist, okay.
Very good.
Good choice for the icing too, and I can see you put some powdered sugar in the back.
Yeah.
So yeah, that definitely
pretty
works
cool.
out.
Yeah. So, a little bit about the cake. I put it, when I mixed it, I had, you know, the eggs, you know, everything, and I floured the bottom of my cake pan so it would not stick. The fluff, it's the way I mixed it. You know, if you mix it a certain way, your cake will be fluffy. You know, it'll rise itself, other than the flour that you put at the bottom of the pan. And I feel like that's what gave it more fluff it is, the less time it takes. And honestly, it'll keep it moist. It's like a technique, a trick, however.
What's that trick? You want to share that with us?
When I blend it, when I mix it, put it in the bowl and mix it, I make sure the mixer is at an angle to where the cake batter can build up into the mixer and fall down in the back. So once it shows the cake batter, one, is not old. Two, it shows that the bubbles inside of it are gone. The air bubbles are no longer there. And that's what's wrong with a lot of cakes. You have a lot of air bubbles and a lot of lumps. So when I blend it, the prongs are going inward, so I make the cake fall backward. And it's pretty cool because I've been doing it and noticed a lot of difference in my cakes when I do that. So yeah, and then the cream cheese, actually I had bought it from the store. Then I came home, I added stuff to it and I whipped it up and I put it back in the same container, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is good," because I came home 2 nights ago and I was making the mixture for it and all that. So it got Cool Whip in there as well.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really heavy to make it fluff, because cream cheese is solid. So when you get it in the refrigerator, it's not gonna do nothing but solid up.
Oh, I gotta pace myself.
it'd be
I
hard.
think I ate too much.
You all right over there, Mike?
Too fast.
You all right over there?
I'm putting it away. I don't care.
It's good.
So, Mike, knowing that our cultures are different in the way that we're cooking, so what's the difference in the way that I prepared my seafood than the culture how they prepare theirs?
Right. Well, so this is very familiar to the way my mom or my grandma would cook back at home, right? Just a little background. A lot of my family comes from South America. Also got family in the Caribbean and Cuba. And rice and beans is a huge staple in our culture in regards to food, right? In Ecuador specifically, we eat a lot of seafood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's definitely it's a coastal country, and rice, beans, of course, and shrimp is a huge
I know.
food item. Excuse me. Has reflux.
I know, I'm like burping.
All the time. Oh my God. No, but shrimp is it's a huge food item in ceviche, shrimp, ají, different ways of cooking it. But this was very interesting because a lot of times the way my family cooks is more citrusy, has a lot of onion, or has, you know what I'm saying, like lemon in it or whatnot. This kind of like switched up a little bit in the sense it was like sweet, and that garlic gave it that real nice pungent flavor. And in that wine, it was just, I don't know, between the garlic, the wine, and the pineapple, and then all, it just, the flavors complemented each other when you go ahead and went around and cooked it with the shrimp, and it was a very good combination. And I'll tell you right now, my taste buds are jumping for joy. You know?
Yeah. So okay. So I mean, like the process of cooking. Other than the seasons and the flavors, is it any different? The way I prepared it, because I browned it in the skillet pan with olive oil. So wait, how do they cook it? Other than preparing it, how do they cook their shrimp? You know.
Well, so yeah, it depends. It really depends on the type of dish. For instance, my mom, when last time she made this very similar with this with shrimp, it was a lot of tomatoes, a lot of onions, garlic, and things like that. But it was more like a stew.
Okay.
Right. It was more like a stew like a stew in a pot, and with that, it was like very saucy and very, it was like a lot of shrimp and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's very similar. But yeah, but she doesn't braise them.
Okay.
Yeah, she just throws it in there, marinates it for like a day, just like you did and stuff like that, and throws it into the pot. I know there's other dishes like ceviche where you don't necessarily cook the shrimp. The citrus acid from it cooks it overnight and whatnot. So there's other methods, different methods, you know. But yeah, no, I definitely know that people do braise their shrimp before they cook them and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, I really think browning your shrimp or braising your shrimp is the best, in my opinion, is one of the best because when you have raw shrimp sitting in liquid overnight, you want to get the access. You want it to cook through. It's soaked up. You really want that flavor to hit. And then the leftover seasonings and everything inside of that pan that's not burnt. Add some butter. Mix it up, get your stuff started, and the fruits that you have in it, put it in there, just play with it, and make it colorful. That's what I done, and it came out pretty well. Actually, I cooked this for you all, and I'm actually gonna go home tonight and cook this again for my family.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so Brittany, where are you from, and how do you all cook it?
Well, I don't know, I was born in New York, but unrelated. But I always cook, like, this is sweet, but I always go for, like, a savory take. So this is, like, nice because I've never thought, like, oh, fruit and shrimp, or to even do sweet shrimp. Normally I just do, like, you said olive oil, and do a lot of garlic because I'm Italian. So I'd be, like, overdoing the garlic all the time.
Yeah.
And I like, you know, like, oregano, and I do a lot of paprika because the paprika gives it a nice brown flavor. But this is nice because it's very fresh, it's very colorful, whereas, like, mine is always, you know what I mean? It's, like, that darker, more savory, kind of, like, not spicy, but like a darker kind of flavor. So, but this is good. I like it. I'm about done with it.
Yeah.
I wanted to add to what you were saying earlier about just praising the shrimp and whatnot. And like, you know, I've definitely found that in most things when you're trying to add flavor. Let's say you're trying to add flavor to rice or trying to add flavor to beans or shrimp or meat. Sauteing the ingredients beforehand, whether it be onion, peppers, shrimp, whatever the case may be, sauteing it, braising it first, getting those like real like flavors out. Because when you boil something, the flavor is different from when you saute something when you pan fry it or
I love
or
pan
whatever.
frying.
So yeah, like, and it could be anything. It could be I don't know. Pan frying for me is the best way to bring a real flavor out.
Yeah, and
that
I think if you pan fry a lot, you know, a lot of people say grilling is good too, because it takes the fat from it. But sometimes you want to keep just enough fat to give it that flavor, because your fat is what carry a lot of the oils and everything from the animal. But when it's processed, it still have that oil and everything. So I feel within grilling, you want to trim some of the fat so you won't be eating a lot of it, but just enough to keep it. That's why in greens or in beans, sometimes you'll see the fat off inside of there. That's because it gives it that smoke flavor, the old school southern feel type of thing. And with the onions, a lot of people don't eat onions, but I love to use the Spanish onion. Mike, you probably know what I'm talking about.
The red onion?
The red onion. It looks purple, but it's red.
The red onions.
And you saute them up with some regular onions, some color. Boy, you got you some good beans right there. You know?
Yeah,
that sounds so good.
But,
and for those who are vegetarian or vegan, I'm sure that you could substitute the shrimp for maybe cauliflower or some tofu or something like that.
Yeah,
It's really the
cauliflower is
flavors
great.
you cooked it
yeah, the cauliflower actually will go great with the butter sauce that's on top of the shrimp, because it has pineapple. Everything is really fresh, and you can cook the cauliflower. You don't have to boil it. I wouldn't boil the cauliflower, because if you boil the cauliflower, you take pan fry it, because you take the texture out of it. And you take the texture out of it, and you don't have the flexibility within the food. So yeah.
So what got you started cooking? You know, like, is it just a hobby of yours, or are you planning on doing this
seems
professionally?
like you've been doing it for a while.
You threw it down here.
I have. I've been doing it ever since I was 8 years old, and I'm 19 now. So I've been cooking for a while. I learned it from my mom, my grandmother, you know, people, the women in my family. And I go to school.
Wow.
I go to Metropolitan Ministry. And, you know, the chef there is awesome. I love him, Chef Pete. He's a really awesome guy. I love the classes that we attend. But yeah, he taught me a lot about, you know, trimming the fat. You know, even though I knew a lot of it, he just refreshing everything.
More technical skills.
Yeah, more technical, and we do a lot of sauteing and doing from scratch. That's why when I do a recipe, and if I don't know how to make it, I look at their recipe, the basics, and then I take my own, you know, and just do it a whole different way. And it comes out so much better, because it's like I'm not doing it like someone else told me to.
Yeah.
I'm doing it on my own. So yeah, I come up with a lot of my recipes. I don't have any written down. I think I should start doing that.
Yeah, you started
for
cookbook.
everything. Yeah, I started a cookbook, because everything that I cook comes off the top of my head. So I think about it and just go get stuff and go as I go in the kitchen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, I went to schools about it, and yeah, cooking is my life. I love cooking. If I didn't cook, I don't know what I would do.
That's awesome.
I don't know.
Not everybody can say that. You know what I mean? Like about what they do, they can't say that it's their life. So
Yeah,
you found a passion. And
Cooking
it's
is
your
my
job.
baby.
Well, cooking is such a great skill, and it's a good trade in a sense. Like, I mean, in whatever economy that you end up in, right? Whatever it is, it's uprising or falling, whatever the case may be. Like, people are still going to eat, right?
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
people still want to eat good quality food, right? They want to know what they're putting in. They want to make sure it's in good hands, right? And I think you've done a great job of
Thank you.
building your craft
Yeah,
too.
I feel like a lot of people, if you do something that you like in a show, like in cooking, instead of cooking just because I'm hungry, I cook it with a passion because
Yeah.
I love it. And I feel like if I love something and do it that way, it's gonna see out in the end. Even in food, you would taste the love that was
Yeah.
in the food. So I just try to keep that there, no matter how tired I am. I was beat, but I mean, I still did it, and it was pretty cool. I like to experiment with a lot of food. I don't really, and then I thought about it, helping, since I like to help my community and things like that. Food is the main thing to help my community. And I thought about an industry to get into, no matter what the economy looked like, I would still be okay and people would still be supplied. And I was like, why not food, Food is something I grew up with, handle it a lot, and that's my thing, I'm good at it. So I like to keep pushing with that, take it as far as I can with food. Yeah.
I think us as humans now at this year, right? This millennium, right? Whatever it's called. I think we have lost connection to our food, right? We're so fast, we're so on the go.
Yeah.
Where we don't know where our food comes from. We don't know who's handling our food. We don't know how processed our food is, and we really lose connection with our food because, I mean, it's. Technically, it's grown and raised, right?
Yeah.
For our consumption. So it's like you have all this energy being put into growing food for us to consume this energy to put forth energy.
Yeah.
And if we're lost within that loop and that connection, I feel like there's like you're riding on a bike with a broken chain,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's where a lot of us are going these days. But I mean, I really like your approach towards food.
Thank you.
How you're passionate about it and how you love to share how you created it and what you did with it. And I think that helps people reestablish that connectedness with their food through your passion. And I think that's really awesome.
Yeah.
It's like very aware cooking.
Yeah, but I try to be aware when I'm up.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. I will most definitely have y'all here again. If y'all want to know more about it, just finish checking out the rest of the show, and I will leave some, detailed more information. So thank you for coming to Lexis Gourmet's Kitchen, and have a nice day, and tune back in next time. Thank you. Bye.